which product sells the most, right? Let's say you have a shop and you want to know which product sells the most. How do you track daily, weekly? Hardly if you have a 20 products, it's easy to track, right? At the end of the day, what you do, you just list down those 20 products and you will see uh, which product has most, like it got sold in the highest sales, it got highest sales, let's say. So you might be tracking down using any pen and paper, and if you have any mobile or in your laptop, you will just take Excel sheet and you will track down all your sales. And out of that, you will see which product has more sales. And let's say if you're going for weekly, just imagine every day you got 20 products sold, and you might have a lot of transactions. And just imagine about weekly. And for weekly, if you want to do it manually, it takes time and it is tedious stuff. And just imagine if you want to do for yearly, and if I want to know for 10 years of your sales, it's not possible to go through each and every row and analyze this data and bring the some useful insights. That's where the business intelligence comes into picture. So what business intelligence will do, it transforms the raw data to your meaningful insights. So name itself suggests that it's a business intelligence. Like we have a lot of tools to do this. Even SQL, we can say it's kind of a business intelligence where we have a raw data, kind of a table, right? So that from there you just take the meaningful insight. Okay. Even if you take any other example, let's say Flipkart. Flipkart uses business intelligence to understand what people buy during the big billion days, and based on that, next time whenever they keep the business like big billion days, they will decide what product to they have to push to big billion days. So that's where they use the business intelligence. And have you ever tracked your expenses manually? Do you do that in every day? Usually, you might have a app like expenses tracker, right? Where you sorry, where you track your finances daily. So let's assume that you're doing 20 transactions a day. It is easy to go through the each and every transaction and understand that. But what if I want see the transaction for the whole year? It is impossible to go through each and every transaction, understand, and bring some out, uh, like meaningful insights from that. So let's say if I ask you to what is the total expenses you spend across like quarter two. So you need to go through each and every month and you need to calculate it manually. So by using business intelligence, we can make all these things easy. So this is the business intelligence. This is the basic introduction, but when we go to course, we'll go into deep. And now what we'll see what is Power BI. So let's assume that Power BI is your super intelligent assistant that talks to your data. Whatever the data you have, right? Just now we discussed about the expenses factor, we discussed about your store. So it talks to your data and presents your data beautifully with the meaningful insights. So if you see the definition of Power BI, so this is the definition from Microsoft. So Power BI is a Microsoft business intelligence tool. So before that, it is called as a self-service BI platform. So we already just seen that what is business intelligence, and Power BI is called as a self-service BI because what is self-service? Uh, Previously, if you look out any business intelligence tool like Tableau or any other like Looker BI, any other tools, you need some technical expertise to understand that tool and to create a report. But Power BI, where anyone can create a report without much technical knowledge. So that's the reason they call it as a self-service business platform, and both on-premise and cloud data. So we have two kinds of data. If the data resides in your local system, we call this as on-premise. If data resides in your cloud-based data, we call it as a cloud-based one. So Power BI can use both on-premise data and cloud data, and on top of it, we can create a report. So these are kind of reports we can create using your Power BI. And what exactly we do in Power BI? We bring the data from different data source. Could be any flat files like Excel, CSV, or your cloud data sources like SQL. or MySQL, Oracle SQL, quite any data source, you can bring the data. Even could be web data, PDF. And from there, we create these reports. So it's a tool to visualize your data. And so these are the parts of Power BI. So in Power BI, we have basically three parts. One is like Power BI Desktop. This is the place where you do all the transformations on your data. Once you bring the data, right, you need to clean the data properly. So you do the transformations on top of it. After that, just a moment. So we have a Power BI Desktop. Power BI Desktop is the place where we do, if you observe this image, so where we bring the data from different data sources like SQL Server, could be Excel, CRM data sources, and that in the Power BI Desktop, first we do data transformations. Transformations is nothing but cleaning the data, or we call it as a ETL. ETL is nothing but extracting the data, transforming data, and then loading the data. So we do everything at Power Query Editor. After cleaning your data, if you feel that data is good enough, then you load that to Power BI Desktop. This is the place where you do the data modeling. Data modeling is nothing but creating a relationship among the table. After that, you do calculations or creating images, calculate columns using DAX. Then you create a report. Then you will share that report to publish that report to Power BI service. From there, you will share your report to others. So those are the tools we have in Power BI. First is the Power BI Desktop. This is the place, as we discussed, like we do the transformations, data modeling, creating, doing calculations using DAX, creating reports, and then you publish your report to Power BI service. Power BI service is nothing but a SaaS application which is in cloud. From there, you share your reports to your stakeholders, your other team people, other team members, your managers, right? And we have another option to view the data in mobile as well. So once you push this Power BI report to Power BI service, along with that, it gets published in app as well. So here you can see your reports in mobile as well. Okay. Now let's see a simple example with Power BI. So let's imagine I have a data related to Zomato. I have around like 13 restaurants from Hyderabad. So if I ask you any questions from this data, let's say I have a restaurant called Absolute Barbecue. Uh, Imagine this is the restaurant. And if I ask you what is the average cost for two people if someone goes to this restaurant, so you can go to this row, and this is what we call the record, right? So if you go through this record, I can just manually I can tell you that it's a 1500, which is average cost for two people at Absolute Barbecue. If I ask you whether they deliver online, no. If I ask you what is the number of oats they got, I say 5,434. If I ask you any other question, let's say I have a mocha bar, and if I ask you what is the average cost per two, it's a 1200. And do they deliver online? No. What is the rating they got? Very good. And number of votes 221. This is the sample data set which has few records. From this, we can bring the some meaningful insights. Just imagine in real time, I have a huge data set where I have a thousands of records and a number of I have a huge column. If I ask you any question, let's say I have a question. I have a restaurant called The Grill, and what is the average rating for that, and what is the rating for that, and how many votes I got? I have to go through each and every row. That's not the proper way to do the data analysis. So that's where the business intelligence comes into picture. Using the business intelligence tools, we bring some meaningful insights from the raw data. Okay. So now using Power BI, let's see how can we do that. So I'm just loading this data to Power BI. I'm not going to create any report for today. I'm just showing how to use Power BI and how to bring the data, and we'll see some meaningful insights from that. So meanwhile, do you have any questions? So this is Power BI visualization tool. As you see, we have a lot of data sources from where we can bring the data. We have a file where we can bring the data using Excel, CSV, and we have a different databases. We have a Microsoft Fabric. We will see what exactly Fabric is in next few minutes. And we have Power Platform, Azure, online services, and even we can get the data from web. We can get the data from different data sources. So for today, let's bring the data from Excel. Actually, it's CSV, not Excel. So let's bring that CSV. So if you bring any data in Power BI, we get two options. Either you want to load the data to Power BI directly, or we have option to click on transform data. So when you click on transform data, that's where you do the transformations. We discussed about the Power Query data, right? It is another window. It's a separate window from Power BI desktop. If you want to do the transformation, so you will do all these transformations in this window. So transformations like removing columns, unwanted columns, rows, all this. Now I'm loading this data to Power BI desktop. So from here we can do our Power BI reporting. So I got this data. I can see this data available in my Power BI desktop now. So what I can do, I can use any visualizations tool to bring some useful insights. So I can use this one. And here I have a different countries. I have a country code. So let's take about city. So for the whole city, or there'll be a lot of restaurants in the city, right? If I want to see the price range, what is the price range for in that city? By looking at this data, uh, New Delhi has the highest price range compared to the others, next followed by Gurgaon, Noida, uh, Faridabad, and followed by other cities. And if I want to see the number of votes for each city, so New Delhi got the highest votes, followed by Gurgaon, Noida, so on. So this is how you bring the useful insights using your Power BI. So if I want to achieve this in using Excel, it takes time and it's really a tedious task and it's a manual task, right? So using this business intelligence tools, I can bring any meaningful insights within seconds. So this is where the Power BI, is useful. And along with the Power BI, just now someone said like Power Platform, right? They have to use the Power Platform in their project. So Power Platform is nothing but it's a combination of all these tools. So just now we've seen what is Power BI. Power BI is business intelligence tool or visualization tool where using this we create a reports. So along with that we have a Power Apps where we create a apps. What we see in your mobiles, right? Like if you go to Play Store or iStore, whatever the apps you see, same kind of apps we can create using Power Apps, but this is for business purpose. Uh, and we have a Power Automate. Using this, we do the automation. We create a flows to the automation. For example, let's say every day, if you ask me about 10 years before, there were employees. We used to get a mails, Excel sheets. We used to get every day. We used to get the Excel sheets. We used to download manually, and then we used to pick those and we keep folder. From there, we used to run the pipelines using SSIS packages. Then we load that to SQL. But now we got the Power Automate. Whenever mail comes into our Outlook, right, automatically this flow triggers and it will automatically pick those files and keep it in folder. And from there, pipeline will run automatically. Everything we can do automate. So those kind of things we can do using Power Automate. And we have a Power Pages is part of Power Apps. So if you want to create any websites, this is for apps. And if you want to create any websites, we can use Power Apps to create those websites. And we have a Power Virtual Agents. If you want to create any chatbots, so you might be familiar with the chatbots, right? If you need any assistance in any websites, like if you go to any banking websites like ICICI, HDFC, you might have seen chatbots. So those kind of chatbots we can create your virtual Power Virtual Agent. So what they did, they kept everything at one place, and they're calling it as a Power Platform. Why? Because we can do the integration. We can bring the Power Apps to Power BI, and we can use Power BI in your Power Apps, and we can create a Power Automate related to Power BI, and you can integrate the Power Platform to your Power BI, the Power Automate one. You can create a chatbot, and you can use the chatbot in your app, or you can use the chatbot in your dashboard. So you can do kind of this integration. That is the reason they have kept everything at one place, and they kept a common data source called Dataverse. So you can use this Dataverse as a common data source for all your apps in the Power Platform. Okay, this is a little introduction about your Power Platform. And finally, we have another buzzword called Microsoft Fabric. You might have heard about Microsoft Fabric. So previously we have seen Microsoft Power Platform, right? Now we got the Fabric, and they kept everything at one place. uh, re- Tools related to the data analyst like Power BI, SQL, they have kept it Microsoft Fabric. Tools related to data engineering. If you see the data factory, Synapse data engineering, and all these are related to data engineering. And we tools related to the data science, like if you see about the real-time analytics, all is related to the data science. So their intention was to keep everything related to the data at one place and keep a common data source, which is nothing but one lake. So this will be our common place. So previously, we used to have a data analyst. They used to work independently. They used to have their own data source. And the same set of data set, it could be a copied for the data engineers. They used to work separately. And there will be a data science team. They'll take the same copy of data and they'll keep in their server and they used to work. So instead of that, they brought the Microsoft Fabric so that everyone can work under one hood. So that is what we call it as a Microsoft Fabric. So if you go to your Power BI service, if you see here, we have an option called Microsoft Fabric. So now when I click on new item, if you observe previously in the Power BI service, we were not having those options, right? We were having only workspace. We have a place to publish the report. It was purely to Power BI. But now they made it as a fabric where you can create a data pipelines, which are part of data engineering. We have a data for Gen 2 where you can do the transformations on data. And we have a event stream, which are like usually data science people they use for this machine learning and all. And we have a notebook, spark job definitions, we have a lake house, and so for the visualized data, we have a Power BI. So all the things they kept it on one hood, so they can log in and they can data science people they can use the same data set, and data engineering team and the data analyst everyone can use the same data set and they can work at one place. So that's what the Microsoft Fabric is. So in this course, we are going to focus mainly on Power BI from basic to advanced level. And there'll be a one or two sessions on Power Apps and Power Automate. I'll be showing you a sample how to create an app and how to create some flows. That will be our focus on this course. So let me show you the course structure. So this is the course structure where we'll be having introduction to BI and Power BI, and followed by we will go through the Power Query Editor, where we will go through each and every transformations available. So everything will start working on like a kind of project. So we have mainly two projects. One is on e-commerce, another one is on healthcare, so that you can keep this in your resume if you're interested. So from the day one, we'll be focusing on the project. So here you can see we can clean and transform raw patients admission and e-commerce order data. So this is how we go in hand, like concepts and along with the project. So in the Power Query Editor, we'll go through each and every option available, followed by data modeling. Data modeling, we'll see what is data modeling, fact table, dimension table, types of schemas, and then we will see about the SQL. So SQL, we are not going to focus much on SQL because as a Power BI developer, you should know you should be good at how to retrieve the data from SQL. As a Power BI developer, you won't get much chance to create a tables, delete the tables, update the tables. Those are like data engineers' work. As a Power BI developer, you should know how to retrieve the data and how to write the queries and how to join the data from different tables. Those everything will be discussed in this course. Not at an advanced level, it kind of medium level, at mid level. So we'll see about the joins, aggregations, and everything. And next we'll see about the DAX. This is the important part of your Power BI course. So where we will cover all the DAX functions. And then we will go to the visualizations. We will see all the kind of visualizations available. And apart from that, we use the custom visualizations as well. And other concepts like drill down, drill up, visual interactions, filters. And after that, once we publish the report to Power BI service, we will see in the Power BI service what is workspace, what is dashboard, what is app, and how to apply the row level security. And we'll create main end-to-end projects or two projects. One is like healthcare, and the other one is e-commerce. And not only those, we will be having a labs as well. So this is how the labs look like. So if you look at this, this is how I provide the lab with the detailed analysis. So like a real-time requirement. So right now, if you see, this is a lab about Apollo Hospital. There'll be objective business use case, and there'll be data set overview, what exactly the data set is, and followed by what you need to create in that assignment. What are the KPIs? And to make our course little interactive, I'll be having the labs related to different like aviation. We have a lab related to the Bollywood movies. So this is for sequel, where you need to practice on the Bollywood movie. So I'll be giving a different queries to solve. And end of the course, if you want me to help relate to the resume, we'll be working on resume, and there will be two mock interviews. If you're interested, you can attend those mock interviews so that I can analyze or review and can do. Yep, that's all from the demo session. So do you have any questions or doubts related to the course?
No, sir, no doubts. I'm clear with it.
So overall, like how many days the course will be like, and
Yeah,
what days?
great. So that's good question. So course will be for 45 days. Um, so this will be a purely weekday session.
Okay, weekday is like Monday to Friday.
Mm, Monday to Friday. I'm not sure about that. Usually, the previous session we have taken from Tuesday to Saturday. So on
Okay,
Saturday there will be one session. So 5 days a week. That's for sure.
okay, okay. Tuesday to Saturday, like you are from Hyderabad, right? So you are India time.
Yes, yes, I
So
am from Hyderabad.
okay, so it will be like Monday to Friday here, and it will be like 1 hour session every day.
Every day 1 hour session. Sometimes it might extend like maybe 15 minutes. So depends on the topic we are discussing. Most probably
Is
one
there
hour. Sometimes it gets stretched maybe 15 or 20 minutes.
Okay. So do you give any other lab work to do it ourselves, or practical things like if you
Yeah,
want to
yeah,
do
of
it like?
course. As I just shown you, right? There'll be different labs. I'll be providing this lab for you. So you need to create a report and SQL queries, and you need to submit that in our OneDrive so that I can
Okay.
analyze and I'll review and I'll get back to you in the next session.
Okay. Thank you.
Will any other question?
No, I'm good.
No.
Yeah, thank you. Well, if no other questions, we are good to wind up the session. Uh, we will start the course soon. We will let you know once we start this.
Yeah, sure.
Okay.
Thanks, everyone. Thanks for joining the session. Have a great day. Bye.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Bye.
Thank
Thank you,
you.
sir. Thank you. Bye.